How everybody doing? Hopefully everybody's doing okay. Not gonna keep you long on this because I think it's all I don't really have to keep you long on anything because a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about, a lot of this gotta admit is crazy. It's always crazy, but something came across. I usually be talking on a lot of political stuff that's going on in the world, but today I'm gonna move a little bit to the right, a little bit sidebar thing, and it's not anything real big. It just I've had this, I've seen this more than one time, and I'm not gonna get too much into the specifics of it because really a lot of it is basically the same, regardless of where you go with it. Um, I usually watch. I'm into like knowing what's going on in sometimes in music, and one of the things I'm not gonna go into it alone. Like I said, it was I'll be watching these shows where you have like a lot of rap history and where people are trying to get interviews out of people. And I got it, I don't quite understand it um, when these people come up on these interviews. I'm assuming they're getting paid for it because I don't think a lot of these people coming up telling the history, a lot of them probably don't even feel like telling it because they probably told it so many times. Especially when it comes in the case of maybe one of the friends of these people have gone and passed away, and people just trying to find out what actually happened when it happened, whatever. Now, what amazes me with a lot of these shows, and I just felt like I wanted to say this because it just, I don't get it. I'm thinking other people just like me, viewers, are looking at this and trying to understand. One of the things that I came across was one of the people that was being interviewed about their life around this other individual, rapper or whatever, and it's like, you know, first of all, how much you're going to say and what you're not going to say, I would think would have been discussed before you even started. And usually people either say I'm going to ask you or I'm not going to ask you. And you can't all the times be. I don't know how many people are actually true. Most of the people I would think they're, hopefully if they would do the right thing, and they're trying to have a show that's going to last long, that they would honor what they're going, honor what they're going to ask. One of the things that kind of tripped me out is when some of these guys answer questions about whatever they ask. Some of them don't really want to. It seems like, I don't get it. They don't really want to say very much on the situation, especially when there's a situation where there's some rift between them and different members of people with inside their group or uh, hangout site for whatever. And they don't really want to, they act as if, well, why are you asking me this question? Because, I'm cool with them, they cool with me. Dude, they ask you the question because they're fans. They watch what's went on between you and these people. And if something went down, they're going to ask a good interviewer is going to have to ask some of the questions, even if not all, of what the viewers and the fans want to know. So I would think as a person that is in the industry, you would understand that and know, okay, this is what I'm going to answer. This is what I'm not going to answer. If that's how you proceed in the situation. But it just seems like some of them don't understand what an interview is. Because if you don't want any part of that, then I don't know why you're on these little podcast shows anyway. So that's one of the things that I don't never quite understand when people go up on the interview. They feel like, oh, well, I don't want to tell that. I don't know. I mean, it's your right not to tell it. But I would think if you agreed to some of this and you didn't have a problem with it, you can say, oh, me and so and so won't getting along at that point. And, but I don't know. Maybe they feel like it's going to start up old beef. So I don't know how it goes. So maybe it's just the way some people are. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so the last thing and the main thing that I wanted to speak on was more than one guest on this guy's show, more than one show, podcast on the in the tube. I'm sorry, in the tube on the internet on YouTube and stuff. Um, he's wanted to get one basically one of somebody asked some questions, and the person that was being interviewed, in some people's opinion, probably said things that he shouldn't have said, or I'm sorry, he or she shouldn't have said, or this, they just said some things, and probably it's going to bring up some old things with some people that are in the industry, as well as them, and it seems as if they get upset with the interviewer, and I don't understand it. That's what I never understood, and that's what I'm just speaking on right now. It's like, I hear some people say, well, he should have never asked him that question. She should have never asked him that question. They just trying to get him put away. They just trying to get him they just trying to get him whatever. I just saw something to whereas people are speaking on this app called Clubhouse, and this guy got in this argument. They were arguing over dumb shit, really, but they were arguing over, I guess, how many people got bodies, or how many people supposed to have, killed people or something like that, and these are people. Some of these are people that got careers, in the music industry, and you're gonna at least, even if it's not true, to be saying, oh, I got more bodies than you, or you ain't done nothing to nobody, and it's crazy. And I brought that up. That's not a main thing I'm talking about, but it's got to do with this, because it's so many people out here that are making money, and not so many, but a few people that are making money, doing well, and it seems like they can't let that be. They can't get out the situation that they were in. Some of them can't come from bad situations, gangs and different things. The way that they used to have to maybe sell uh, whatever they had to sell, or do whatever they had to do in order to make the money that they had to make at that time. Now they don't got to do it, because they're doing hip hop music and singing or doing whatever. And I don't understand. I understand that sometimes people can get caught in their own vices and different things that they do, but it seems like after a while we would stop the trend and move away from it. So when this guy was interviewing this person, I heard people, and I've heard people say this before when other people have said things. Oh well, and what I well, let me explain that. The guy was, if I didn't say it already, the guy was saying things that other people felt like he shouldn't have said, because that's going to incriminate him, or that's going to bring up some old bad blood with other people. And so some of the stuff that the person was saying, they were saying basically that the person was a liar. And a lot of these things, people accuse people of being, whether you cap or don't cap, they accuse them of, sometimes that they are capping, that it isn't true what they're saying. So I've heard somebody say, well, why would this person ask them that? I've heard people say this even among about Vlad. And if y'all know about Vlad TV, they usually interview a whole bunch of rap artists and a lot of people of, not just rap artists, but people in the industry. And Vlad asks good questions. And that a lot of people say, oh, he ain't nothing but the cops. Oh, he ain't nothing but going around trying to get somebody incriminated. Oh, you can't let people trick you. When you go on Drink Champs, if you go on Drink Champs and say and know you're not supposed to get drunk, or you're gonna start running your mouth, it probably would be a good idea for you not to go on Drink Champs and drink. And I've seen some guys do that, and I think they're the smart guys, because they don't want to say crazy things. And it's good that you don't get out your way. That's the way that Nori tricks you into saying something, or maybe speaking about things that is supposed to make you feel more loose. At least that's what I believe in the whole situation. Anybody that gives you liquor, anybody that gives you liquor, let me say that again, anybody that gives you liquor on a show, and then they talk to you and ask you personal questions and questions about stuff that maybe usually people don't talk about, or they haven't talked about, then yes, it's a situation to get you into telling more than what you usually would say. And people have gotten messed up over stuff like that, or gotten in arguments over stuff like that, simply because they went on the show and got drunk. These are, I heard somebody say, well, they should, again, they shouldn't be putting them in that situation. They shouldn't be asking that question. They're the cops. They're the what? They're the what? That's a grown man or a grown woman on that television show that agreed to that interview. Why do we always blame? It seems like we always blame. Some of us always blame people for your own mistakes. They're just the interview. I'm sorry, they're just the interviewer. They asked you to come so that you would give them your perspective or give them your truth. If they can't answer the question, then why they can't be an interviewer? They got to ask the questions. Now, whether you answer them or not, that's your business. Whether you take into whether you're taking into account that, I need to tell them the truth or I don't, that's up to you. If you don't got to say nothing, you could just say, I decline to answer that. That's not something I want to speak about, especially if you're sober. Hopefully you would have enough sense, but a lot of these guys don't have sense. Not a lot of sense in my perspective. So it trips me out when I see these extra videos, or these videos where people put out where it's just like this. They get up here and then they start talking about, F this person, F that person, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, so now you mad, but the main person that they're mad at a lot of times is the interviewer. They will bring up all, blah, blah, blah. I can't stand that. That's not right. Bro, if you didn't want to say nothing about it, and if you had some sense, you've been in the business for a long time. Some of these guys, they've been in, they know how it is, especially the guys that have been in criminal shit. If you've been in criminal stuff and you know how it is, I would think you would watch what you say, even when you say, and then even so, it just doesn't make sense to me. And if somebody says something wrong about somebody else, why not? Why can't we just call? I know some of these people got to know each other, because some of these people frequent in the same circles, and it trips me out sometimes when people talk how hard they are. And a lot of these guys are old like me now. There ain't no situation where you 25 no more. You don't need to go and knock somebody's head off. Why can't it just be simple as, oh, well, he had a disagreement with me. Oh man, if you want to squash it, why not call the person up yourself? I know that y'all got phones. I know y'all got connections. Oh, yo, you know him, so and so, and whatever like that. Even the truth of the matter, I'm thinking, I don't know. I mean, I know it would be bigger with a bigger person, whether you could get in touch with them. So it's a difference. Even though you might know Jay-Z, you might not be able to get in touch with him, But I would think that with most people, that if they're around the way and you got some connection to them, you would be able to get in touch with them. Now, to go back to what I'm saying, it wasn't about Jay-Z, but I'm just saying a person in his status. In some people's case, I don't know how he is, but I would still think with some people you might can still get in touch with them. But it wasn't a case where this person was popular like that. It's a case where he's still in the hood, he's still running away. Why not go talk to him? And why would you have a problem with the interviewer and say that, oh, well, he trying to put somebody in, or he trying to get somebody in trouble? Ain't nobody people don't get time to do that. Everybody don't get time. Maybe some, but everybody don't get time to do that. You a grown man, you a grown woman. Learn how to talk. Learn how to speak what you got to say. And then if you don't need to say it, or you don't need to speak it, then don't say it. Then don't speak it. But there is no reason for you to get mad at the interviewer or to get mad at people that are trying to bring forth some type of storyline or whatever that they're trying to get out you. Because yes, they're trying to catch a moment. Yes, they're trying to catch something that's going to help their show. Something's that's going to help their reputation a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? In order to get them where they want to get. So you got to understand, why would, if you don't want to do the interview because you feel like you don't want to say things or people should know these things, then don't do the interview. But when you do the interview, I don't think that it to me, it doesn't make sense to be pissed about questions that the interviewer asked, or about a situation to whereas when they were talking to maybe someone that you didn't agree with on another interview. And so you feel like because you got a vendetta against them, because you mad with them, that you can't talk to them. We all, I mean, especially, look, we grown folks, especially if we people of age, we should be able to, if we're not going to talk to that direct person, or we're not going to talk to them anymore about it, even if you want to share your grievances, we don't even have to do this right here with this camera thing. You could just, and go online to do that. You could just call your man up on the phone. That's usually the way I do things. I don't usually get up here and tell everybody everything. I don't have nothing to tell anyway because I'm not no celebrity. But I'm just saying, I don't have a situation where I feel like I need to put something out there, and I don't think I would put it out here like this. I think I would still just go to the person, even if I had that type of reputation, as far as like I knew people and I had some connections. I don't need to go tell somebody popular something, because I think that what that does is that puts people in on something that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm doing. If I really want to resolve a matter, I would want to resolve the matter whether it's on camera or whether it's not on camera. I would care less about if somebody saw it, because I'm not trying to get likes and views. All I would be trying to do is trying to resolve the situation. If I had a problem with my man, or I had a problem with somebody that I felt like, yo, you didn't say this right, or this wasn't right, why you talking like that? But it just seems like people can't get past that, and we go into the, I don't know what everybody's trying to, go into the hard mode. People is talking crazy. And again, if you don't want to do an interview, if you don't like what an interviewer asked another person, ain't nobody trying to, I don't believe a lot of these guys is trying to get somebody put in jail. I don't believe nobody is trying to get somebody in trouble. And it's not their responsibility to keep you out of jail. It's not their responsibility to make sure that they got to watch everything you do and make sure that, oh, you don't say this, oh, he shouldn't say that, or whatever like that. It's sort of like with the dumb stuff Kanye said. It ain't nobody's responsibility to sit around and necessarily. It is your responsibility to push back if he's lying. It is your responsibility to push back if you feel, as the interviewer, if you feel like he's not saying accurately what he's saying. Well, I don't know. Maybe we need to ask so and so about that before we, what you said, that don't make sense. That's not accurate. I'm gonna have to say that because I know my man, and I know how he is. So I don't know how it went down with you. I don't think, it must have just been a disagreement or whatever. But I am going to speak up and say that's not known of this person. You have to push back, I believe, as an interviewer if you feel like it's not correct on what they're saying. But at the same time, you can't stop them necessarily from saying what they're saying, providing it's something that needs to be heard. And so I get what the person feels, but you're a grown person. You understand what I'm saying? That person that went online and made that speech or said whatever he or she said, you can't jump on the interviewer all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because, and say, well, it's your responsibility to make sure that he doesn't say anything that put him in jail. That's not his responsibility. Well, it's your responsibility to make sure that that doesn't mess up our reputation because we did. It's not his responsibility or her responsibility. I don't care how close y'all are, whatever. I would think at some point, if they knew the situation, they probably might call you, you know what I'm saying, about the situation and explain it to them. So that, they would know what, this is not something I'm saying. This is something this dude said. I'm just letting you know. So again, I don't get it. People get online and they say a lot of crazy things. They don't think about it. They don't understand how far they went. Even not so much how far they went, but just that they just shouldn't have said certain things. And then now you want to blame it on another person. A lot of these guys know what they're doing. A lot of these guys know what they're doing. And if they're not telling the truth, then maybe they are trying to draw up drama because that's just what they're about. So again, I usually try to, like I said, I don't so much talk about these things anymore because this ain't probably gonna make no difference. Whoever sees it just will probably say, oh, shut the F up, you don't know what you're talking about. But again, I think that it's just silly of us to blame the interviewer. Silly of us to sit around and say, well, he's just trying to make him go to jail. No, bro, they grown men. They grown men. Well, he was only 22. He was only 21. I don't give a damn if he was 19. If you out here, if you in the midst of doing illegal, you're in the midst of doing illegal shit, and you've been out here doing it for a while, you know what you're doing. So if you're doing it for popularity, you something wrong because you could end up in jail. Y'all see what's going down with everybody. Y'all know what's going down. So if you so number one, I think Boosie said that, look, you can't be no rapper, you can't be no rapper and then turn around and you a killer. You can't be no rapper and you all up in drug scene and doing all types of crazy stuff. They will get you. They watch this stuff. They pay attention to how you moving. Even in some people's lyrics where they saying things that they shouldn't be saying. Like I tell people all the time when I'm talking about political stuff, and I say all the time, pay attention. Pay attention. And y'all, and these guys have been, if you've been in that type, if you've been in the criminal world for a long time, you doing all this stuff, you know you don't say certain things, and you know you don't get online and you supposed to be, you just don't do it because they're paying attention and they watching. That's their job, right? That is I don't understand why people just don't get it. That's their job, is to arrest you. So if it's your job to stay away from that, then you got to be watching and knowing. You got to be knowing. Wait a minute, somebody out here trying to arrest me. Well, let me watch what I say, because I know I done some things that I probably shouldn't. I ain't gonna tell nobody I did it, but I did some things I wasn't supposed to do. Well, why would a criminal get online and take and tell people everything they do? So that's what I'm saying. You a grown man, you a grown woman. When you get online and people ask you a question, these interviewers, why do they got to have anything? They asking you the questions. All you got to do is decline. You know what I'm saying? You either say I want to answer it, I don't want to answer it, and or whatever. Look, I don't feel comfortable talking about this, but don't get pissed and flip out and go off on the interviewer when the interviewer ain't doing nothing but trying to get an interview. He ain't doing nothing but asking questions that the fans already want to know. You know what I'm saying? That's the messed up thing because you have people that's they're just trying to do a job. Whether the job enlists or does what you want it to do, that should not be the point. You should not be ready to flip out just because it didn't go your way. Like I said, if you're a grown man, you're a grown woman, you can easily just say, look, I ain't answering that if you're in the interview, or just don't do the interview. You know what I'm saying? Or just like I said, if you're trying to squash something or you're trying to get past it, and we grown men, and a lot of people, like I said, is my age or older now in the hip hop game. Some people that have been around blessed that long to keep it going, to keep it moving. Why not just get in touch with the person and just say, whatever it is that you got a problem with. You know what I'm saying? Rather than, I'm just tired of seeing, me myself, I am tired of seeing young black men go to jail. I don't want to see anybody go to jail, but I'm tired of seeing my black men, young, old, whatever, go to jail. Jailed, it's nothing. It takes away your life. It takes away your time. People know this. I ain't telling you nothing new, but it's just so tiring to keep on saying, yeah, well, this so-and-so got this charge on him. Did you know this happened to this person? Oh, so-and-so said this up here, and now he going to jail. Like, I wish that people would stop. This has been going on too long. That's why I'm just saying this right here in general. Like, I don't understand why people go on podcast shows, not just podcast shows, any shows. Sometimes they might go on a national show. It doesn't I don't know if it happens that much, but even if you get on something big, why, big or small, information travels. Why would you get on the show and say something and then get mad about it because somebody took it wrong? You said it. And then, or either a person where, again, they ask somebody else or something that you don't like, and then you say, oh, well, they're trying to get somebody put away. Everybody's not trying to get nobody put away. Like I say, I don't think a lot of people are. The fact of the matter is just that they have an interview to do. They're trying to do the best one that they can. You're trying to capture a moment. You're trying to get information where that information may be information that wasn't gotten before. And it could be something as innocent. Doesn't have to be nothing crazy or deadly. But it could be just information that you're just trying to get. They're just trying to live. They're just trying to figure it out. So for somebody to get mad about that, I don't understand, because, again, grown men. How you gonna get mad at him and it would be that way. It would be somebody say something, oh, well, he told something and got him put in jail because he shouldn't have said that. Was something else. Oh, well, so-and-so trying to get him in jail because no, he asked him a question. You know what I'm saying? And he answered it. He could have declined. He could have just took and said, I'm not gonna do the interview at all, and it would have been better. But again, you can't blame another man or another woman for your situation simply because it did not turn out the way that you wanted. And that had nothing to do with the interviewer. That had nothing to do with what was said, not what was said, but with the interviewer asking questions that he or she should be able to ask what they want in the interview, or at least had they already agreed and told you, look, I'm gonna ask you this. So anyway, that's just again, like, that's just a little sidebar. Again, I don't usually talk about the music world all the time, every now and then, but I just felt like that was necessary because I keep seeing this happen over and over and over again, and people act like they don't have enough understanding to just, like I said, make a decision and either squash it, ignore it, move on, or just don't do it if you don't want to be a part of it. All right, well, so let me get out of here. Again, I always tell everybody, just look, tell a friend. I'm serious. Tell somebody that you love. I mean, I'm talking about a close friend. I'm talking about like somebody you ain't seen in a while, family member. Like, you never know what people are going through. And I say this all the time because here we just went through the COVID thing. We just went through a whole bunch of crazy stuff. And I'm telling you, sometimes people will just need a hello or how you doing. People are isolated sometimes. Jobs ain't quite as plenty as before. Either you are working a job consistently, and so I'm telling you, a lot of people would or just say hi to somebody. We walking around, everybody look like they mad, they upset. I understand things is going on, and sometimes you might not know just from somebody saying how you doing today might be the greatest thing that they heard that morning. It might be the thing that has them looking around and saying, wow, I really appreciated that. I didn't know my brother was thinking about me. Or either just, I appreciated that, a smile from somebody that don't know me, but just saying, hey, how you doing? Hopefully the day going good. You know what I'm saying? And I know everybody don't want to do that, but I'm telling you, everybody is so roughed up and things are so heated at times. It's just good. I think that us as people just need sometimes just to say to the next man or the next woman, whoever, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's all somebody needs in their day. So with that being said, y'all take it easy. Have a great day and be good people.